Welcome back all. In this episode we move from the Mediterranean to the Atlantic on the final bit of our Mediterranean journey. We berth up in Alcadeza in southern Spain, and as you can probably see by what I'm wearing, our ARC 23 polo shirts have arrived, which are customised with Mojo. So I've got this for all the crew, which is quite exciting. It sort of brings home to me how quickly time is passing and how close it all is really. So this episode I pick up from Michel from Malaga Airport. He helps me take the boat just past Gibraltar into Alcadeza Marina, and we have about 4 days there doing quite a lot of maintenance. We fit a new water boiler on the boat, having a few problems with that. We also take the boat out of the water to do the long-awaited repairs on the stern thruster, pick up the parts in Gibraltar to do that, and we have the boat out of the water for 24 hours. We successfully repair the stern thruster, get that operational, back in the water, and we have a couple of days sorting out other bits of maintenance. We've taken apart all the winches on the boat, greased all those. We've trialled the new gale sail that we had. We put that up, and we've also chatted to a rigger who's going to inspect the rigging before we go into the Atlantic. So yeah, lots of stuff to do. Hope you enjoy it. So I'm just en route to pick up Michel at Malaga Airport, but I thought it'd be worthwhile sharing the view with you. There is miles upon miles here. You just come a little bit inland from Almerimar of plastic sort of tunnel fruit farms, and in Spain here they've got a real problem with the right wing here in this area, because all the workers who work in these come from North Africa, and they're all sort of settled in the villages here. But it's absolutely amazing. This is where all the fruit comes from, that ends up in sort of Sainsbury's and Tesco's and Morrison's in the UK in the middle of winter when we've got no seasonality. But if you're out at sea and you look back at the land, there is just miles and miles of this polytunnel tenting to accommodate the fruit. So it's about 180 kilometres to Malaga, so it should take me about an hour and a half to pick up Michel, and then we'll probably overnight tonight and then set off tomorrow morning. Here we are, 8 o'clock in the morning, and we are leaving Almerimar behind us. Just a little entrance channel here to negotiate before we get out, and making our way towards Gibraltar. It's about 170 miles, so it's about a day and a half to get there. Forecast is a bit mixed. Got some little bit of wind to start with, which is going to be with us, which should be nice, and then looks like lots of motoring. Just got to suck that up really. Not the greatest sailing conditions, but yeah. There you go. So that's the resort of Almerimar. Sun's just coming up over it, and if you go all the way around, you can see the mountains up there, and they have this big plain in front of the mountains, which comes down to the sea, which, as I said on my way to Malaga yesterday, is absolutely covered with plastic for sort of fruit farming down here, which is carried out on an industrial scale. I mean, there are just acres and acres of this fruit farm, sort of plastic covered, enclosed. So yeah, so there we are. That's Almerimar. Goodbye, and yeah, we will see you next time, perhaps. So these are the first dolphins I've seen since Greece, and normally come across them every so often. Just a minute ago, and where they've gone, there's a few lurking around. They come back. There they are, back again. It's amazing when they swim with the bow of the boat. First thought when we saw these is, are they dolphins or are they orcas? Certainly having fun. Just finished our overnight passage from Almerimar, and 7 o'clock in the morning. You can tell it's getting much later in the year as it's still pretty dark, but we just arrived in front of the famous Rock of Gibraltar, which is just there, and that's the end of the point. So we're going to go, I think that's called Punta Europa. So we're going to go past there and then back up to Alcadeza around the back. So you can see there's a few big ships at anchor out there, which are just waiting to go into Gibraltar or coming through the straits. Some of it's traffic, some of it's anchored, but yeah, it's pretty busy coming through the straits. We don't really have to contend with that today because we're just going to pop round the point. But when we come back in October, we'll have to negotiate the traffic separation zone to go across to Morocco. But yeah, so that's the end of the rock. I think that's the financial district there, and then just in the background there is Spain, so it's pretty small. Gibraltar. This is quite surreal really, now that we're in Linear. I'm just having a day out trip to Gibraltar and the actual cycle truck just across the runway. It's quite amazing. So I've just come in to do a bit of shopping at Morrison's. So there you are. A bit of a struggle sometimes getting in because there's a bit of a queue in into Gibraltar, but yeah, they shut the air runway when planes are taking off. It's very bizarre. Yeah, it's a funny old place, Jube. Full of English things. On the back there. See the English flag flying, that makes you feel quite proud. And Indian restaurants, McDonald's, all the things to remind you of home. So I'm just stocking up on a few tin things to take with us on the Atlantic trip from Morrison's, which I'll keep for yonks. You can always use them in emergencies. But yeah, you're not supposed to take them into Spain. There's a ban on dairy products and cheese across the border and meat. So yeah, not really supposed to take them, but nobody seems to bother, so just run the risk. There you are, and there we are, arriving at Morrison's. Morrison's since 1899, I think it says, is the logo. So we've got a few bits here, and then go back to Spain. Now, park the bike up, make sure I lock it. Nobody nicks it. Just like going to the supermarket at home, isn't it? Hey? Whew. So here we are being lifted out at Almerimar. We're actually got the slings on the boat at the moment. But we actually are reversing back with the two guys on the back here. So this is the work we need to do on the stern thruster to try and get it working again. It's the first time ever that I've been left on a boat while it's been lifted on a crane. So there we are, they've let us off the boat finally. So it looks actually a bit on the piss, the boat, but I guess they know what they're doing. And there she goes, out of the water. I'm guessing it'll lift the front up. I wasn't entirely happy where he put the front sling, but there we go. There she goes, out of the water, first time since Preveza. I always worry that they'll put the slings on the sail drive when they put the boat on these cranes, but looks like he's missed it by some, not a lot, but by some. So let's make sure the rudder misses the key. Oh yeah, looks like she's out. So I'll now reverse her up and put her on a dry berth. Start work today. Resting place then. Yeah, at the moment of truth, just taking the slings off and undo the slings and they'll take it away. So we're on stilts now. On stilts, so that's actually a pretty good shot with the Rock of Gibraltar in the back. How's that? That is a pretty historic shot. So the story when we were working on the boat is we weren't allowed to stay on the boat. So I booked, when I was back in the UK for 2 days, what I thought was the Hotel de Paris, and actually it was the Hostel de Paris. So this is a look, I'm giving you a sneak preview at this very basic hostel that Michelle and I had to stay in. I mean, it was actually fine. It was quite clean and well looked after, and suited our purposes fine, and did us for the 2 nights that we had to stay in it. But yeah, we had a good night out in town as well, so all was well in the end. Right, here we are going back in again. Following day, a day later. 24 hours later, almost exactly. Bow thruster's been tested this morning and it works. So yeah, here's the boat being reversed up. 2 guys from the port, and the chap who's with them, I've learnt, is Mr. Moody Boats. So that is Peter Moody. His father sold the company to Hansa, Moody Yachts, to Hansa quite a long time ago, and he now is here. So it's great talking to him. Really nice chap. And he sorted out the electrics on the boat for me. So now he's going to check that they work properly when we get in the water. So yeah, a real trip down memory lane there. So let's hope they don't drop the boat. So here we are in the water on the actual slings of the crane. We just tested the stern thruster, and there's no water coming in where they've done the flange, and it works starboard and port, so that's a real result. We've got 2 stern thrusters back again, so they're just tying us up to the dock. They'll drop us in the water and then they'll take the slings away, and we're ready to go back to the marina. So here we are at Gibraltar Airport, ready to go. It's a bit of a rush this morning. Spanish passport control, complete pain in the arse. It was actually about a 10-minute walk from the marina, but by the time I'd queued there, it was about half an hour in the queue. So yeah, a bit of a panic in the end. Anyway, so what's going on with the flight? Well, I think this was the quietest airport I've seen in my life, Gibraltar. There only are a few flights that leave here, but I've never seen an airport that's empty before. There's nobody here. Anyway, presumably there's enough people for the flight. Let's go through security. Yeah, so there you are. That was the last week we had in Spain. So I hope you enjoyed that. We back out on the 20th of October with a brand new crew who I've never sailed with before, so that'll be interesting. I've got Matt, who's a friend from Twyford, Adi, who's a friend here from Walgrave, and also Ian, who's the cross-channel swimmer. So it should be interesting. First time being on the boat with them, and we're taking the boat on the 21st of October down to the Canaries, which should be a trip of about 5 days. So I will update you with that when it happens.